Okay, guys, sorry, we just came back. Okay, so then you pick out this resistor, you place flat on the surface, and then with your iron, you melt the solder, and then you kind of gently ease this in. That's it. Don't push too hard, and then use your tweezer, lightly tap it, make sure it's not moving, and then you come to the other side that did not have solder before, and then you just put solder there, and then come back. Okay, and then to make sure that nothing is shorted, right? So I'm taking an ohm meter and just measure the resistance, and it should be 100 ohm, and that's 100 ohm. Okay, nothing shorted. Whenever you are in doubt, use ohm meter. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to solder a capacitor. So this is 042 sized capacitor. Okay. So again, pick it up. Oh, okay. First place solder. Okay, on one side. Which side is easier for you? Okay? Whichever side is easier for you. No, it's not. So just remember, solder flows towards heat. Okay. That's maybe a little bit too much solder, but so you can use the soldering iron to remove some. I use this copper, I don't know what they call it, to remove the residual solder on the iron tip. Actually, that's good. Okay. So now you see there's some solder on this pad, and you take up the capacitor, lay flat on the surface, and then you use your iron to melt the solder, and then gently push this in. That's it. Okay. So once the capacitor get close enough to the solder will kind of just go towards the capacitor. Okay. It's probably fluid dynamics or something. And then you come back and do some touch up. Okay, so that's a capacitor, and make sure the chip is okay. Maybe I should do more touch on the chip, just make sure. Okay, now to show you how to do a SMA connector soldering. First of all, you should supposed to solder SMA and those 2-pin headers at the end. Okay, so in this case, I put SMA. Let me see. I'm doing this one. J8. So I'm doing this. I make sure you place it, and then everything is aligned. Okay, especially the center connector with the center trace on the PCB. So when that's aligned, use the soldering iron, touch the trace. Okay, and that's it. Now you do the rest. don't worry if it's not perfect. Like first of all, get this component fixed first, okay, and then you do the rest while the SMA cannot move. Okay, you see how the solder flows around it, so that's good. Then you do the other one. A lot of fume comes out. Try not to inhale it. Okay. And so what I did was ground. Okay. And this ground touches this body of the SMA, right? Which means it's going to be really hot. So now do not use your hand to touch the SMA. And now I come back and do a finish touch on the center conductor. And then you come back. So actually when I touch here, because the ground plane is here, I already feel the heat just from soldering those 2 fingers, okay? 2 ground fingers. Come back here, do it. Come back here, do it. Normally, if you do RF design, you see here, there's a gap between the SMA and the PCB. And within the PCB itself, the ground plane does not go all the way to the edge of the board. That means there's a gap, okay? So that means your center conductor, this is the center conductor, that's carrier signal when that goes into the board, there's a place, this gap, that it loses ground reference, okay? So that means you have a return pass discontinuity. So the good thing you can do is provide ground by soldering so. But this is really a risky move because first of all, my solder is too thin, so I may not have I take a lot of heat to do it. For this design, you don't really have to do it because the speed is not that fast enough. But it's really for your information. Okay, so you can do something like that. Okay, so that's it. That's and then you can just continue again. If you drink too much coffee, it may not be a good idea to do it. Okay, you need to have a steady hand and try not to burn yourself. Okay, so again, be careful with the orientation of your chip and LED at the 4 location. The capacitors and resistor orientation does not matter. Okay, all right. So thank you for watching.